Hey guys, so we are rapidly approaching holiday season, and for me that means lots and lots of cookies and even cookie swaps. And now when you think of a cookie, you think of the round shape, like a chocolate chip cookie or a sugar cookie, but oftentimes I like to go the lazy route and just do like a cookie bar. It's so simple because you can pour it right into a pan, spread it out, bake it off, and just slice it up. So today I want to show you my favorite cookie bar recipe. They're my chocolatey walnut molasses bars. So taking inspiration from the pecan pies of Thanksgiving and the holiday season, I decided I wanted to do my own kind of nut bar, and I came up with this chocolatey walnut molasses bar recipe. So I replaced the pecans with walnuts and I replaced the corn syrup with molasses. And I think the pairing of molasses and walnuts works really well together because the strong flavor of the walnut and the really robust flavor of the molasses complement each other really well. So I want to show you my chocolatey walnut molasses bars. They're simple to put together, they're really satisfying, they're super flavorful, and they're perfect for the holiday season, especially if you're going to a cookie swap. So let's get started on the recipe. So for our walnut bars, we're going to start with the crust. So I've got my butter here, and this is a half cup of room temperature butter. I'm going to add a quarter cup of light brown sugar to that. The brown sugar is a little lumpy, so here you want to work out all the lumps while you're creaming it together with the butter. So today I am the mixer. So this is what you want, this light and fluffy butter-sugar mixture. Okay. And I'm going to switch to the spatula because I want to fold in the flour. And I have 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. So I'm just going to fold it in little by little. And what you end up getting is this nice crumbly dough, which you'll then press into the prepared baking pan. And I'm just adding this mixture to my baking pan. And to make the pressing even easier, what I like to do is lay over a piece of plastic wrap, and then you won't get your fingers all greasy from the butter, and it'll also go in a lot smoother. And doing this by hand also gives you the chance to feel around and make sure that it's an even thickness, so that you won't have any thin spots. And if you have a large offset spatula like this, you can also use this to press it in. This is especially good for the corners. And so, just like this. And this is going into the preheated oven, and it's gonna bake for about 12 to 15 minutes until it's golden brown. So my walnut bar crust has been in the oven for 15 minutes, and the entire kitchen smells like sugar and butter, so it's about time for it to come out. Okay, and it's going straight onto this cooling rack. And while this cools slightly, I'm going to get started on the filling. So for the filling, I'm going to start by beating up 3 eggs. I'm going to add the salt and my vanilla extract. I have 1 teaspoon of bourbon vanilla extract. Okay, I'm adding my sugar. Okay, and now I'm going to add the molasses. I'm just going to dump in all of it. quite thick, so it's gonna take a while. I always make sure to get the last drop out of everything. And now this is where the work gets a little tougher. But you want to beat this until it's nice and incorporated and smooth. And by all means, you can use a machine for this, but honestly, it doesn't take much effort at all to do it by hand. So go ahead and use a whisk or a wooden spoon. Okay, now the molasses has some sugary chunks in it, these sugary crystals. That's okay. You can leave those. You don't have to worry about completely beating this until it's silken. It is a pretty rustic cookie bar recipe anyway. I'm gonna add the chopped chocolate, 1.5 cups. And then I also have 1.5 cups of coarsely chopped walnuts. And all you want to do is fold this together. And I almost forgot the butter. This is mostly just for flavor. And now my crust is still warm, but that's okay because this is going into the oven as soon as I get the filling into it. I think what I might do is put it this way. Okay, and you want to make sure to get everything into the corners, so it's nice and even, so there's not too much liquid in one area, not too much chocolate or nuts in the other. And you can also give it a little bit of a tap just to get any air bubbles out. And you can actually see the bubbles popping here and there on the top. Okay, and now this is going back into the oven for about 30 minutes. And as you can see, it's nice and set completely. So I'm gonna let the walnut bars cool completely, and then we can slice them up and try them. So my walnut bars have been cooling. They're still slightly warm, ever so slightly warm. And I'm going to lift them out of the pan onto my cutting board. So cross your fingers. Ta-da! This is why I love to leave a big parchment paper overhang, because it makes lifting the bars so much easier, and you won't have to do any type of digging with any spatulas. You just lift it right out. And it's also really important to make sure to butter the bottom of the pan, as you can see, because this way it slides right out. Okay, and now we're gonna cut the walnut bars up. So these walnut bars came out really well. The chocolate is still nice and melted. I can feel that the top is nice and crusty, and the bottom, the pastry is really nice. And some of the pieces actually have the molasses kind of leaked through, and you have like a partially black molassesy bottom. So you have the option of the more fudgy piece or the more like traditional cookie bar piece. So my mouth is watering as I'm describing this to you, so I'm just gonna go in and take a bite of this centerpiece, which is one of my favorites when it comes to these cookie bars and brownies and blondie type desserts. It's so incredibly rich. I love that bittersweet flavor of the molasses, as well as that bitter nuttiness of the walnut. And they really complement each other very well. And of course, the 65% chocolate is so nice and rich and sweet. It's a really, really good combination. And the last bite. These chocolatey walnut molasses bars are so rich and decadent. They're sweet, yet a little bit bitter. And the best part about these cookie bars is the texture. You have this fudginess and this kind of crust on the top that adds an extra crispiness. So if you're looking for a new cookie recipe to bring to your cookie swap, I highly recommend these chocolatey walnut molasses bars. They're kind of a riff on a pecan pie, but they're even better. So let me know what you think about the recipe, which is linked in the description below. Please like and subscribe, and thank you again for watching.